Hey everyone, so visiting the beautiful Okanagan area this week, and I've actually never fished this area before, so I thought I'd contact my friend here, Jesse Martin, and we're going to be fishing, what lake is this? Skaha Lake?
We're on Skaha Lake.
Skaha Lake, yeah, and we're fishing for
smallmouth bass.
Smallmouth bass, yeah. I've done a little bit of bass fishing in the past, but still not that really that experienced. Jesse is actually a guide on this lake and several other lakes as well, so hopefully he can show us a few tricks. So what are we using today? Just very briefly, you can tell us about it.
Well, it's just the start of the summer season, so the fish are scattered. They're all over the place. You got some fish shallow, there's some fish deep.
Yeah.
So we're going to be kind of fishing the same way. We'll have a little bit of a mix of lures. We're going to use some tube baits. We're going to use some soft plastic worms. We might even try a little top water action too. So we'll let the fish kind of decide what we're going to use.
Okay, sounds good.
And we'll give them some choices. So
right.
That's the way I like to do it. Let the fish choose, and we'll do what they tell us.
Right. And how big do the bass getting here?
I've seen fish out of here up to 6.5 pounds. Biggest one was 6 pounds 8 ounces. That was caught out of a club tournament we had. But average fish in here is probably a pound or two. And there's lots of like threes. So, and those fish they fight awesome. They're great to catch. So hopefully we run into a few of those.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, let's get on with it and see if we can get one.
Yeah, I feel lucky.
Well, this sounds like a nice fish.
He's not bad.
Oh, is it over my line? No, it's right there. I'll just get on the other side. Wow, that was like in 2 feet of water.
Yeah, he was way up here on the top. I felt him hit it. My line jumped. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's actually, the way it's fighting I thought was bigger than that. Jeez, they fight pretty well.
They're strong fish.
Yeah.
They're a little more tired than usual, and they still got lots of fight in them. You know, you catch these fish first thing in the year when they first start moving shallow, like in April, and they just go crazy.
Right.
Same for like in the fall too.
Right, beautiful. Well, this one is actually the bill is actually really white. Interesting.
Yeah, you can tell he's got a bit of a scary or something.
Right.
Right now it was kind of out in the middle, but it might have been on a bed defending it. What happens is the carp will come along in the nests, and they'll eat the eggs. And so these bass, they're going to attack carp that are twice the size and maybe like 5 times the weight. So they tend to get scarred up a bit.
You can try some cold water stuff.
Try crankbait just in between here. I have a popper on already.
Pretty shallow right here. It's only about 2 or 3 feet deep.
Yeah.
And I guess the sun doesn't really affect them.
It can.
Yeah.
But there might still be some fish up shallow from spawning, so they could be up here. This spot can get really good in the evening.
Yeah.
I fished Skaha quite a bit a few summers ago, and we would come here like every night almost, and you could just see, you could kind of feel the fish moving up. Like you'd start fishing up here and there'd be nothing, and then all of a sudden you'd start catching fish and fish. You'd almost like feel them moving into the reeds, eh?
Yeah. Huh.
And some days you'd catch like 30 fish right in one stretch.
And spawning takes place, what, back in May?
Generally May.
May
and June.
Yeah, so we're at the end of June now, so it's
we're at
the tail end.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
This lake's a little bit behind Osuyas. Like Osuyas is probably 2 weeks ahead.
Yeah.
So I try to avoid the spawn when it's like at its peak, when it's all the fish are on beds and are really aggressive.
Yeah.
So I can kind of switch between the 2 lakes and fish the one that's not. Because if you fish it early, you're catching a lot of the males off beds, and then you can catch the females a bit deeper.
Yeah.
But once it's like the middle of the spawn, they're guarding eggs, right? So I'm like, I don't really want to catch fish when they're busy like that, right? Like the females, I'll catch them before because they're kind of feeding and getting ready for the spawn.
Right.
And the males too, when they first make their beds and they're protecting the bed. But once they get super aggressive, like they'll hit
No, it's just...
They'll hit anything that comes near. their bed. Once they start getting to that point, I leave them alone.
So what do they do once they spawn? Do they, I guess they go back down into the deep?
Yeah, there's something called they call it the post spawn.
Yeah.
And that's actually, it's right after the eggs hatch.
Yeah.
And you'll see the fry balls all over the place. There'll be little black fry. And the males will guard them. And during that time you can catch lots of males, but you can't catch any of the females because they're spawned out. And when they're spawned out, they're kind of dozy, they're out of it. They're not eating anything for a few weeks at least. So you can catch a lot of the smaller males, but the females are the ones I usually try to get because they're bigger.
Yeah.
So the post spawn can be a tough time to fish. But once that's over, like that's usually a couple weeks of tough fishing. And then it's over and the fishing gets really good again in the summer, and it stays that way until it starts getting cold in the fall. Water temperature is the most important thing for bass fishing.
Yeah. So what would be the optimal temperature range?
It really depends on the type of year. Like when it's first warming up early in the year, 50 degrees Fahrenheit is like the magic number, which is I think 10 degrees Celsius. That's like the magic number when the fish start going shallow.
That was a hit.
Once it hits 50 degrees, then they'll start swimming up shallow. Before that, they're all down deep and they're not feeding much. Once some of the water starts getting warmer, they'll move shallow and they'll start eating more and more.
But is that the same for both smallmouth and largemouth, or?
Smallmouth can handle a bit cooler water than largemouth. So largemouth, they'll start at 50, and smallmouth might start moving shallow at about 45 or 47 Fahrenheit.
So with my soft plastic bait, do I use that in the shallow water or in the deeper part of the water?
Use it both. Those are great because you can use them anywhere except for really deep. Oh, wow. Top water. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
He grabbed my popper right in front of the boat.
Yeah. He's not very shy.
No.
I kept looking around looking for fish, but yeah, I guess.
That's the second time they got me when I was talking.
Just pop out of nowhere.
I was just fishing that popper along the surface and it just...
Did you see it grab it?
No, I was looking at you talking and then I just turned around to look at my lure and the fish was eating it. This guy's not bad size. They keep getting bigger. This one might go 3 or 4 pounds. 3 pounds anyway.
It's nice.
If I'm using soft plastics, I usually won't use a net, but if anything with trebles on it, I don't want to put my hand down there.
Right. One more time. Oh, that's a good size. Yeah, that's pretty big. How long is that? It's probably like...
It's probably 16 or 17 inches.
17 inches? Yeah. Nice fish.
Yeah, it's about a 3 pounder, I'd say.
Yeah. So that's a smallmouth, right?
Yeah.
And how do you tell between that and the largemouth usually?
There's a couple ways of telling. And I find the easiest is usually the markings. Like the smallmouth always have a dark kind of stripe down the sides.
Yeah.
And it's not like some people say it's diamond shaped, but it's actually kind of like mottled along the way.
Right.
But black stripe down the side's the easy way to tell. And smallmouth largemouth always have a blacker tail. So if you see them in the water and you see that black tail, you know immediately.
Yeah, that's
largemouth.
That's a largemouth.
Smallmouth always look kind of either green or brown in the water. And they usually have like not much of a mark, it's just kind of mottled, or they'll have like vertical bars, almost like a tiger stripes.
Okay, nice.
And they also say the size of the mouth, but
looks.
But that's you got to look
yeah.
pretty close. Yeah. Like with the mouth size for smallmouth, they say if it doesn't extend past the back of the eye, it's a smallmouth, and if it extends further, it's a largemouth.
There's one. That's a tiny one. That's that's a lot smaller than yours. Oh well, came off. Oh, just found it. There's one. Oh, it came off again. I'm just warming up. So I see we're pretty close to the shoreline here, and there's a path down there, right? If people want, can they actually come down here and fish from shore, just cast straight out? They might get a deal of fish as well,
Yeah,
right?
look at this guy.
Yeah.
There's a path that goes all along the lake.
Yeah.
So you can actually, people if they want, they can bike down here if you got a rod.
Yeah.
I've seen people do that, or you can hike down. And you can fish all along this side of the lake. This goes from Penticton all the way to OK Falls.
Oh wow.
This path.
Yeah.
It's an old train tracks.
Oh yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
No, that wasn't a fish. Oh, I see one right there cruising right by.
Oh, there's a carp. Two of them.
Oh, it's a carp, okay. Gave me a scare. Yeah, so there's quite a few different species in this lake. So there's bass, there's carp, there's kokanee as well.
Yeah.
Trout.
Yeah.
Pike minnows.
I just got a hit there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, suckers. There's yellow perch in here.
Oh yeah.
There's the odd large. Oh, he's still hitting it. There's the odd largemouth, and there's even sunfish in here as well, both bluegill and pumpkin seed.
Yeah.
And brown bullhead, catfish. So there's a huge mix of fish.
Big variety, yeah.
Yeah.
So this worm right here, what do you call this?
That is I just call it a rubber worm.
Okay.
Some people call it a stick bait.
Yeah.
They're actually an imitation of a Senko. So if you talk about bass fishing in the States, or you hear guys talking about it, a lot of them will call them Senkos or Senko type worms. Because the Senko was the original bait like that. And there's just been a lot of imitations.
Yeah, it's surprisingly heavy. I can actually cast pretty far with it.
And that's sort of the premise behind it, is it's got a lot of salt in it.
Right.
And it's a denser plastic so that it sinks on its own, and that plastic gives it a wiggle when it's sinking. That like a regular plastic worm doesn't have. Regular plastics are pretty light, Like they don't sink very much.
Right.
And these just sink on their own. All you need is a worm and a hook, and you're good to go.
Right.
Got him.
Oh, you got it? Oh, little guy. Pretty aggressive. I guess he'll come back again and again.
Oh yeah.
Trying to grab it. Nice.
Got one.
Got one. Oh, I can't. Yeah. Hey, what kind of hook are you giving me here? It's Catherine Lee's hook, it's not.
You didn't notice I was filing down the end earlier.
Yeah.
When you feel a bite, don't set the hook right away.
No, just
let them kind of
hold back.
Maybe like when you feel a bite, count to 3 and then set the hook. Is usually what I tell people. Or
it gets so
like
excited.
you'll feel it kind of like chomp and then bite again.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they're just biting half of the worm before they go for the whole thing.
Maybe. Yeah.
With the largemouth, a lot of times they'll grab the whole thing and you can set it right away. But with the smallmouth, they usually just bite one end and then you gotta wait till they bite again.
Interesting. Never thought about that. Yeah. So that fish could have just been.
He could have just been hanging on to
the worm. Yeah.
Yeah. I've experimented a lot with the types of hooks because I use those type of baits so often.
Yeah.
That I've tried a lot of different hooks with them.
Yeah.
And I keep going back to those big offset ones there. I've tried like little octopus ones and different drop shot hooks and different styles, but that seems to be the best one, the one that hooks them the best and keeps them on. Octopus, you can hook them, but they seem to lose a lot of fish.
Yeah. I guess the gap is probably smaller.
I think that's it. Like it wiggles out of their mouth a lot better on a smaller gap hook. And their mouths are so bony, and their lips are bigger than say like a trout. Like a trout, they just have the small lips, and if a hook gets above the lip, it's hooked, right?
Right.
A bass, not so much. And they shake their head so much when they fight that I think they make the gap bigger where the hook goes in.
Right.
There's another bed right there, just a little one.
Oh, yeah. Go on.
Yep. They love to jump, smallmouth.
Yep. That's a little bigger than the last one.
A little bigger.
Yeah, not bad.
He's got to be careful around treble hooks.
Yeah. Yeah, so you mentioned before that those eyes,
Yeah.
so they turn orange when they get into the shallow water,
Yeah.
right?
Like right now they've been shallow for a while, so most of the ones we catch here, and we're fishing shallow, so most of the ones we catch are gonna have the red eyes. But if you're fishing deeper in the summer,
Yeah, like
they
brown,
all
I
have
guess,
brown eyes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh! Ah!
I saw a fish.
Yeah, that felt a little big actually. It's all right. That's so exciting.
Did you see it come and hit?
No, I didn't see it actually. Yeah, it could also be I'm not setting the hook hard enough, right? I mean, so used to fishing trout,
Yeah.
you know, the hook set is a little different.
Maybe your drag could be a little tighter.
Yeah, it could be.
I just heard
Try
it
that.
sing pretty.
Yeah.
Because they do have, yeah, you're right, they do have a harder mouth than the
Right.
trout.
Oh, you got one. That's a nice one. Oh, look at that jump. Oh, that's a nice fish. I guess you don't need a net for this.
No, this guy should
Yeah.
be okay.
Oh, nice. I don't know how you do it.
Years of practice, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. Local knowledge, that's what it is. Yeah, nice fish. Should we let it go?
Easy. Yep.
Came off. I just saw the line tighten up. Oh,
That's
it came
what
back
happened.
again.
Yeah.
No, it came off again.
A lot of times they will come back around.
Yeah. Huh. That second time took me by surprise.
There he is.
Fish? No, it came up again.
Jeez. No luck. No love.
Just gotta get used to using this worm.
Yeah, you really gotta let them take it with those.
Yeah.
And don't worry that they're gonna spit it out because they usually hang on to it for
Yeah.
they'll hang on to it for like a good 10 seconds or more.
That's a little guy though. That time I really waited. There we go. You got one as well?
Yeah.
I think I hit a school of fish right here.
You got off.
Ah, there it is. Little baby one compared to Jesse's fish. That's okay, I'll take it. Nice.
Now you can relax a little.
Now I can relax a little bit, yeah. Well, thanks for out fishing me. That's been definitely a lesson learned. Yeah, well, let's pull this guy back first.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for biting.
Yeah, another average size Skaha Lake bass.
Yeah, there's a lot like that in here.
Yeah, it's been great. I landed one, and how many did you land?
I don't know.
Maybe over a dozen.
I grew up fishing this lake, and
Right.
it always kind of felt like my home lake.
Yeah,
so
well, exactly.
it's
Right.
really comfortable here.
Yeah, local knowledge is always best. Yeah. Well,
It
thanks
is,
for
for
showing us around. Anyways, it's been great, even though it's such a short time. And yeah, so if you want more bass fishing information or guiding information, definitely feel free to contact Jesse. What's the email address?
bcbasscharters@gmail.com.
Yeah, and they can also read your blog on the World Fishing Network website as well, and they can look you up on the National Pro Staff as well, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks, Rod.
Yeah, excellent. Well, thank you.
Cheers. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for making the trip.
Yeah, great.